You're welcome again to my channel. My name is Afolake and this is Flookiesden. Thank you for joining me as always. And today's video is just going to be quick and direct, and we just want to address one or two things that I mentioned in one video that I shared a few weeks ago, and it talks about finance, which happens to be the backbone for every marriage. And I know that then I was talking about it causing the major part of divorce even here in North America. It happens back in our home countries, but most especially here it is a problem because the way the family begins to run is now different from how you used to run back in your home country. And I just want to emphasize on this again so that it can drive home the point for those that are looking at coming to Canada. Back in your home country, of course, it's either you split the bills or your husband pays the bills, right? Your spouse, whichever maybe ends, but most of the time it's probably the husband, and then they pay the bills, they take care of everything that has to do with the home. I want to encourage you to go watch that video. You know, it actually shared a bit more of the background of what I'm talking about, but just to encourage especially the women on this video. This is particularly for the women that are watching me on this video, that are married, that are looking at moving to Canada with their spouse, and they feel that the husband is still going to take responsibility of everything here in Canada. Ladies, that's not how it works, because somebody mentioned something to me that talks about a woman that was really confused and was concerned that she has to split the bills with her spouse. And she works so hard. At the end of the day, her account balance goes to negative, gets her frustrated, gets her annoyed, gets her upset because she has to, and the husband earns more than her, and all of those things. And one thing that went through my mind then was that it's like marriage, it's like having children. Nobody really tells you a lot of things, and some things are better experienced than being told. People have their experiences, people tell you a lot of things, and like marriage, they say that you get certificate before you graduate before. Is it graduate now, or you receive your certificate ahead of even getting into the marriage proper? So it's like, how can somebody get a certificate for something he hasn't experienced? But that's how it works. But there's nothing that is cast in stone. There's nothing that is set that this is how it works. There are still homes here that probably the husband alone fits the bill. Maybe the woman doesn't work or has very little income that comes in for the family, and then she's more on the housekeeping side of things. She's helping out with the children. She's trying to probably go back to school or building her own career as the husband, fends for the whole home. So life is different for everybody, but you must understand that the bills here in Canada are not smiling, and everybody gets annoyed. I also get angry, when those bills come, as if we have not used heating, as if we have not used gas, as if we have not used electricity, as if we have not used our phones. And if you use these things, you expect that these bills will come. Worst of it all is your monthly rent, which you have to pay, or if you are doing you own a property and you're paying mortgage, then you're paying for your home insurance, you're paying for your property tax, you're paying for all these utilities that come with home. And it's scary, guys. It is scary. So if you are that spouse that's still complaining when you're renting, guess what? There's more bills to come. And I don't want to scare you by saying do 10 jobs to be able to earn money, because when you earn it, it still goes back to taxes. And these monies, you need to rest for yourself. You need to also be able to find a balance between work and then having quality time in your home. So you need to draw that balance. But the point here is for ladies to understand that, look, when you have been spoon-fed back in your home country by your spouses, and when I say spoon-fed, I'm not in any way saying that it was a bad experience for you to not put forces together to pay bills with your spouse. Sometimes your spouse will be earning so much high and they feel, babe, don't worry, just use and take care of yourself and all of those things, so you don't have to bother him with your own personal stuff. And because you have the income, right, he doesn't look into it, he doesn't care. And you come to this North America, in Canada, and these bills are too high for this person, your husband, to handle alone. And because when you're coming to this country, you're lucky if you get into your profession and you're earning the 6 figures or the 7 figures. If you don't fall into your profession and you're starting from scratch, or you're starting from somewhere in between and you're earning such a mega amount, tell me how you won't put these funds together. Tell me how you want to keep your own funds. Tell me what you want to keep it for. It doesn't make sense, right? At the end of the day, you have to join forces. It's not easy. Even me, that I'm telling you right now, it's not easy to earn, and then you're putting all your money to expenses or bills. If you're not earning as much as you can to be able to have extra, right? And that's where there's complaint. That's where people begin to cry out and say, when are these bills going to stop? They won't stop. The only thing for you to do is to probably find ways to increase your income, get better jobs that pay you higher, or find ways in which you can maybe have some other income sources that will support what you have. I'm always a good proponent of a side income, whatever it is that brings in income. It's like a little seed that you just plant, you start it and it begins to grow, it blossoms, and people know you by that. I'll give an example of myself right now. Even with this YouTube channel that I'm running, yes, I'm nearing monetization, but yeah, it's not only about the monetization of what you get from your YouTube that gives you an income. I've been able to create a niche for myself by helping immigrants to find accommodation here in Canada. And yes, it's a growing concern. People have reached out. I've helped a couple of people, and I know that it's something that when people reach out, it is always their go-to request. So they know you by that, and as people begin to know you by that, it becomes a source of income for you, because you've not made it free, right? It's a way, because you're already giving value, and you must start by giving value so people can trust you. People can know that yes, they can come to you when they need this service. So that's how it is. It's a gig, and there are other smaller gigs that I still do. In fact, I was telling someone that I was chatting with, we were talking about filing our taxes and all that, and I said, look, I am exhausted. I am indeed exhausted, because there's so many things I've put my hands into, to make income, right? Yeah, there are little things that start off small, in a way that will begin to blossom. But you are doing these things, and you are the only one with, or maybe you have contractors or you have freelancers that you also engage when you need help. But basically it is exhausting, and these are ways in which you can still add on to your income. So babes, there's no way to cry, there's no reason to cry. There's every opportunity to expand your reach by the income that you bring in, and then be able to add to the bigger pot in the home, right? That's the way it works here. If you probably have, I don't know what profession, maybe if you have a doctor as a spouse, then they can say, don't bother, babe, don't put your money in the common purse, just enjoy your funds by yourself. Or people that work in the mines, or people, I don't know, even those in the tech, these monies they're not enough. They don't it's not a lifetime thing that you feel that you will always meet it there. When you pay those bills, the bills are coming the next month. Yes, you earn the income, every 2 weeks or every half of the month, but in the long run, it is not enough. For even the taxes and the way it's being computed, I know that at a particular threshold in your income, when you get into a bracket, at a particular threshold, your taxes are taken like upfront ish, in a way that, in fact, somebody that was earning like 80,000 got a big dip in like a by weekly payment of less than another 400 or something. The taxes keep going up, then it limits what you receive every month or every bi-weekly from your net pay, and then your money is not going up, and yet you are saying these bills keep going up. Sometimes the bills, you can't put a finger to it and say this is exactly. You probably will have a range, and this is sad. Honestly, it is sad. Nobody likes to pay bills. Nobody likes to pay bills. So please, if you're in this category, especially the ladies, you have to support. That is why you're there. And I know that I addressed the men too in that particular video that I talked about, because basically the way it is that God has made men the provider. You are the one that is your numero uno. You are the owner of this particular role, to provide for your household, to work and provide. The woman is meant to support. So in a way that sometimes men will even earn more and they are waiting for their spouse to do like a 50-50 match up, or like you want to even take everything from your spouse to be able to pay bills. That is really not nice. You must find a way in which to do a balance, and you must also understand that these women really, their makeup is meant to be for you to also care for them and help them. Sometimes women don't demand so much from their spouses because they do these things themselves. They get their makeup, they get their clothing. Yes, we have a lot of these things because we are women. We are versatile. We are different. Men can do a whole week with one straight pants. Women cannot, because they have to be looking nice. And then of course you appreciate these women because they are looking nice, because they are also taking good care of themselves. Their skincare routine is not cheap, their hair is not cheap, their body creams are not cheap. All these things are funds that they need to buy. They buy their bags, and I'm not encouraging that women should splurge a lot and waste money on these things, but at least there's still some basic things. If you earn a good pay, you want to also splurge on yourself and feel good for that sacrifice of working, and then you're paying up for yourself. So the man needs to understand it's not in your place to take the whole chunk from your spouse and say because you are paying bills. That is so unfair. She's meant to support, and she's just meant to add on to what you feel you are short of. But life has taught us so many things, and we can't be looking, because we are all in the same house, we are all in this together. It is called marriage, and then we look at things that are shortfall. Sometimes the women even do more. If you earn more, you're putting more in the purse, you're doing extra. But it's also not a place for the man to feel lazy and just feel, okay, she's putting more, we are paying the bills, and I don't need to get a better job, or I don't need to look at how to advance my career. No, the woman shouldn't take your place as a provider. She shouldn't. Otherwise, when she calls the shot in the home, then you feel offended that who is the man in this?
Nice.
So please take your place as men. Take your place and begin to be the provider, be the encourager, be the visionary of the home. Support your spouse and help her to be able to understand how to also put her own to match up to support the expenses in the home. And it's not about only taking funds from you too must step in to help her out. There are some chores in the home that also need your help. There are some chores, some errands in the home that needs your help. You can't say because you are the man and you decide to do nothing. You can't be taken from her and not given to her. Life has to be in a balance in such a way that this also helps the fluidity of the home and the marriage, and helps things to work smoothly. So I'm addressing the women, but somehow I put in the men as well. But this is, when you talk about marriage, it is for the joint cause of the two parties, and both of you must understand that at the end of it all, you want to be happy. You want to ensure that you are not maybe owing the bank, or you are not in debt. You are not feeling downcast, or somebody is the one that is drowning and the other one has money. How can that be in a marriage when somebody has money and the other person is drowning? How? That shouldn't be. If you are drowning, drown together. If you are smiling, smile together, because you have funds together in your purses. So just to encourage you ladies, Canada is not where you fold your hands. You have to work. You have to work. If you don't work a day, you don't get paid. It's not the one that you feel like you do in your home countries. If you don't work, you don't get paid, and that's life here. Some organizations, I've said it before, you have to clock in your hours. You have to put in your time sheets. Like someone was telling me that every day they put in time sheets for the things they do, and I look at that like, this is like slavery. But yes, because you have to earn that pay. If you didn't work in a particular, apart from your break time, you must put in, they must see indeed that you did this and this, and there are times allocated for your task. So if you feel you probably slept all the hours or you wasted time doing some things that you feel you can put in that, they will question it. This particular task is meant to be done for 15 minutes. How come you spent 30 minutes? You probably were playing the other 15 minutes, or you're doing personal stuff. Especially if you're working at home remotely, then you're not exactly monitored in a way that they can say you were totally working throughout your 8-hour shift. So we need to be understanding. We need to know these things. There's no free funds anywhere, and everything is expensive everywhere. Even those that are in our home countries that cry out, we are also equally crying out here. Things are expensive, and you can imagine getting your funds and you're paying bills and you have nothing left to even feed or even save or do extra things. So we just need to support ourselves as spouses. Women, please understand, it is not in the place of a man alone, especially in this North America. Things begin to evolve, and we need to look at how to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, the goal is to have a home that is healthy, and that means you have to put in, and your spouse too has to put in. Okay, I think this should benefit 1 or 2 people. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can always relate on a personal level with 1 or 2 people when issues like this occur, so we can talk about it and make our settling here in Canada a better place for us. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another vlog. Bye.